So most clothing brands don't die from bad product. They die from this one silent killer: silence. No one's talking about them. No one's posting, no one's sharing, no one's seeing. But the brands that win, they do all 5 things consistently. And the crazy part, none of them require a huge budget. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving you a 30-day playbook built from those exact 5 moves. Winning brand owners have mastered content creation. They got in front of their heroes, they've ran paid ads, they understood what branding actually is. I'm gonna define that for you. They built trust. All right, so I'm gonna call this the attention engine. Basically, people master content creation. They wanna turn complete strangers into loyal buyers on demand. Here's how brands create predictable attention. So the rule, I want you to be posting 3 times per day. No shocker there, but I'm gonna give you the content pillars to do so well. If you're just starting out, this may seem like a lot. Don't worry, you could work up to it. I'm gonna give you the content pillars and then break them down. All right, so there are 3 main content pillars and then one that I'm gonna put on here as a bonus, and I'm gonna give you some examples of what those actually look like in addition to just writing these out. So number 1 is connection. So the whole point for a connection video is to get people to actually understand who you are, why they should pay attention to you, and honestly just go with you on a deeper level. So you have a founder story. If you don't have this, it's probably the most valuable piece of content that you will create. A point of view video. This could be about many different things, but POV, point of view for you as an actual business owner in your specific niche. And then the day in the life. What does your day in the life look like? People are just naturally curious. They have been for a very long time. Whether it's MTV Cribs or whether it's a crime show, whatever it is, people are fascinated with other people. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe it sounds arrogant. I don't know, but it does work. This is kind of your connection section, all right? The next piece is this what to do. Also for the what to do, I'm gonna talk about a little bit, I'm just gonna tell you now, there's a bonus at the end of this video. I'm gonna walk you through on what to do content and then how to use that to nurture a relationship and make even more money, but a little bit later. Whether you've seen every video or this is your first, I appreciate you. So my name is Aaron, and alongside my business partner Christian, we built this channel for you, the clothing brand owners, so that you can grow your business and change your family's lives. And if you found any value in this video so far, please hit that like and subscribe button. It is free. If you do this in the next 3 seconds, I will share with you a picture of the only marathon I have never finished. So started and did not finish. I passed out at mile 26 of 26.2, and you can check out that picture here. So what to do content, pretty straightforward. What is the problem that you can solve? Why are you solving that problem? It's not how to as much as it is what to do. When you're creating this type of content, the goal is not for you to get sales from your product. I'm not just selling this t-shirt. I'm actually just focused on what problem am I solving. Okay, so for example, this is a very lightweight, long sleeve t-shirt. I'm solving problems for the people in Texas when it's 55, 60 degrees in the morning and turns into 75, 80 degrees in the afternoon. Okay, so I got something that's lightweight. I can wear it in the morning. Don't have to wear a hoodie. You could solve an actual problem. You could talk about styling. You can create your own problem. It doesn't have to be this huge, grandiose problem, but somebody has a problem that you can solve, and you should create content around that. It gives you authority. This is giving you the trust, if you will. So that's the what to do. The next one is one that people, I would say, shy away from, but has the largest reach, and the one that you should potentially spend the most effort on is not the most amount of content, but the most amount of effort as you think through it, and this is called a thought reversal. I would look at a thought reversal as this. Basically it says, everyone says common belief, right? Which is, for example, something that is organic or fair trade or, ethically made. So common belief, everyone says that this belief right here, the common belief with these things that I just mentioned, right? That these are ethically made, these are cotton, organic cotton, etc., are expensive. But then we tested it on exactly who your audience is. So we tested this on 25-year-old females straight out of college who wore these products, and therefore it was actually just as affordable as going to somewhere like Target or Walmart because of the durability, and they actually spent less money because they didn't have to buy 3 of the same shirts. They actually just bought 1, and it was less expensive. So you can do something as tame as that, but the point is to call out something that's a common misconception or a belief about your product, your industry, something in general about your specific audience, maybe something that they believe, and then flip it on its head and give your point of view. So this bonus one is one that is working right now. It still works to this day in the clothing space. It 100% is something that you should be doing, especially on social. And I'll give you guys a percentage for all of these here in a second, but this is a lookbook or collection, or lookbook and collection style content. It's very simple for this. Showcase the product in a real use case scenario, whether they are walking down the street, whether they're getting coffee, whether you have an activewear brand and they're running. Like, show me the product in use, lookbook style. The problem is most people do this at like 90%. And really, it should be like 10%. So let me give you the percentages here. But the stuff you're probably already doing, or the stuff that you see all of the time, is this one right here. This is that bonus one. I honestly put it in here mostly because I know a lot of you guys are gonna do it anyway, and so I just gave it here. But it does work. Clothes, for the most part, they do sell themselves from the story that you tell your customers or potential customers, but you've gotta find a way to be able to showcase this where it's a percentage and it only adds in. This is, for all of you OGs out there, right? This is jab, 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 right hook. So the truth, most brands don't know how to find their audience or create a clear message, which is why we offer free strategy calls. It's 45 minutes and we'll walk you through the same framework we've used to help 300 plus clothing brands in the last 12 months alone. Look, if you don't want to spend the next few months or years guessing, schedule a free strategy call, use a link in the description down below. There's obviously limited spots, so go do that right now. All right, so let's break this down by percentage. So other than looking like a Christmas tree here, these are the percentages. I'm gonna break them down in the red of what people actually do, and then the green of what they should do. So most people actually get the connection piece correct. They do some POV type videos. They do not as much founder stories as I would like, but more POV. So it's about 30%. You would like this to be, or I would like this to be closer to 30 to 40% of your total content. You have the what to do content. Most people do zero, absolutely none. They teach none about this at all. This should be about 20 to 30% of your content. Thought reversals, pretty much nobody. Again, 0%. I want this to be about, again, 10 to 15%. If this is the 20 to 30% on the high end, that 30%, this can be closer to 10. And then the lookbook collection style. Most people do this at like 70%. I need you to do it closer to that 10 to 15%. What this does is very simple. So connection gets people to like you. The what to do builds trust, and then the thought reversals get people to know you, right? So they know, like, and trust you, and then you can give them a call to action, and when you do that, they're much more likely to purchase. Get in front of heroes. Strangers do not buy from you, but they trust this. Here's how smart brands borrow it to blow up. These three types of heroes. So a hero is basically a borrowed voice, and this is a way that we've helped a lot of brands, and a lot of brands who have followed this advice have done extremely well. So you have more so what we call a niche focus. I'm gonna use this as an example of a boutique. So what is the niche side of things? Well, so the niche would be this Facebook HOA mom. Okay, so she doesn't have a ton of followers. She doesn't have a ton of reach, but she does have a very specific audience. And now, if I'm making up this boutique in my head, so she's going after women who live in rural counties all over the country, usually towns that are 20, 30,000 people and less. She's very interested in creating affordable fashion for the average woman in that rural community. We know that people on Facebook who have authority, who are, I would just say like, basically the unelected unofficial mayor of the community, they've got a voice. Oh, I know, Mama Tammy over there, whomever. It's like, pay attention to her. She's the one, all right? So we got to draw her in. Okay, we can seed her products. We can say, hey, look, just mention it. X, Y, and Z. Figure out what works for you. Find that niche person like this Tammy lady. The next one is, okay, if I'm going after those people, what else would they care about in, for example, their community or something a little bit larger? Somebody with maybe 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 people, right? Maybe they're a local, hey, if all these adjacent towns add up to 50 or 100,000, I would reach out to them. So this could be a company, it could be a leader, it could be somebody who is very well respected, it could be a local pediatrician. So what I've got here is basically this person that I found is not only a doctor, but they have kids, very well respected in the community. Maybe they're like a travel doctor in the sense that like they go make house visits. Maybe they have a YouTube channel. Maybe they have, again, a small audience of people, 25, 50,000 followers total, whether it's on Instagram or not. And they're giving out tips and advice on how to take care of kids. Well, you're like, who is this audience? Well, this audience is, again, the mom who lives in the rural community. Well, who do they respect? Do they respect their pediatrician or they respect the doctor there. This person also gives advice, so there's already trust built up because this person decided to do what to do, content, like you will. And so she's built up a community of people who trust her word, and she's like, hey, look, I have to run this channel. I'm also married. I have kids. I've got all these things going on. So I know you, person down the street, are probably super busy too. And it's just natural for her to say, like, at the end of the video, like, hey, look, I've made all of this stuff, I've done all of these things, and I've helped a lot of people, but it's only because I can dress very quickly throughout the day and go from being mom in the morning to doctor in the afternoon, and because this clothing that I buy from XYZ Boutique, I am able to make this work. So just slight mention, again, happy to give her a percentage or give her free products, but now you've got another level. And so the next one's not really needed, but it's one that if you're gonna swing for the fences, you might as well. You could go and get many other people in the communities. There's tons of other doctors or barbershops or wherever, or salons, I guess, for our demographic. Other people in the HOA, there's not just one of those people. Go infiltrate. Go find as many people as possible here. You could go find somebody with a large following. Maybe they're an author. Maybe they specialize, again, in kids. Maybe they specialize in travel. Maybe they specialize in some other little sub-niche of the thing that you focus on and that your audience cares about. So you could go after that person. And maybe they have 100,000, 200,000 followers. Again, I'm reaching out to them not because I think that it's going to happen, but there is an off chance that it does. And in the off chance it does, I can have a really big splash. But I'm only putting about 10% of my effort here. The other 90% is going right over here to these other two things. So 10% of my effort is going after this queen bee. I've mentioned this strategy before, but basically we find this one person of influence who is absolutely perfect for my brand, reach out to them, give them a product, offer them not only free product, but hey, a percentage of revenue that they send our way. Again, it is not contingent on you landing that deal, but it sure as heck is nice when it does happen. Run paid ads that actually convert. You don't need a huge budget to win. In fact, I'll show you how $30 a day can spark some serious momentum. Okay, so this is the campaign structure. It's honestly the exact same campaign structure that we use for brands that are spending, even thousands of dollars per day. It doesn't matter, right? Okay, so this campaign structure is very simple. Now, once you start to spend 50 to 100K per month, different conversation, honestly, completely different video. If you're spending that much, then we'll get into some more advanced ads, advanced Instagram meta ads. But right now, let's talk about campaign structure. It's very simple, very easy, but it's all contingent on you doing this stuff over here, because if you don't and you try to run ads and you don't get any sales, that's where people usually go and chat with us. So the campaign structure is very simple, all right? So you have one campaign, you're gonna go inside of Ads Manager, you're going to click sales or create a campaign, you're gonna make sure that you choose sales, it's gonna be a CBO or campaign budget optimization, you're gonna go for purchases, that is the only thing that you're gonna go after. Do not do website traffic, do not do engagement, do not do anything else except for purchases. I don't care if you've never ran an ad before in your life, go for purchases. The next thing that you're gonna do is create ad sets. So this is the targeting. What are you gonna do? Age, gender, location. Right now, currently, I don't expand outside of that. However, Meta just does it anyway, but I am trying to give it specific instructions to go after age, gender, location. So I talk about the United States, I talk about women, for example, that's who we're going after here, women, and we know that they are between 25 and 55 years old. If you don't know, widen it out and then let Meta figure it out so that you can get the data and insights on that and let it go and search. At $30 a day, it's going to take longer than if you spent $300 a day to figure out who your audience is. So if you know exactly who your audience range is, go after them. Okay, so that's the ad set. Those are both very simple, very easy. What are these? Okay, so the ad sets are different concepts. What I mean by a concept is like this. So you could have a founder's video, you could have 3 different founders videos, and those could all be 3 different ads here. You could have how to solve a problem, what to do type of content, and you could put it in here in this ad set. Now, is a direct one-to-one over to ads? No, it is typically not. I'm just giving you an example of a concept here. The concept could be a founder's video, okay? It could be a POV video. It could be a flat lay video. It could be on the rack, meaning like you're literally grabbing clothes off of the rack video. But you want each concept to be in its own ad set to diversify and test against each other. You also want to make sure that in each ad set, right? So let's say ad set number 1 is all images and ad set number 2 is all videos. You would not want to put images and videos in the same ad set. One of them will do better than the other. It's never truly a fair test. Now, as you start to spend more money, a lot of people have been pushing Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, and we've had some success for that. But right now I'm speaking to you, if you're spending $100, $200 a day, this is your setup, and your focal point is on creative, which we're gonna talk through here in the rest of this video, but you've got to keep this structure very simple. So many of you guys spend way too much time inside of Ads Manager instead of actually creating the content. Now, remember that the thing that you avoid is what controls you. If you avoid content creation, that is going to be the thing that controls your business from going up or down. All right, so something that I created will help you a lot. It's called the clothing offer equation. I'm gonna share it with you on the screen here, but basically, it will allow you to take all different parts of your business and give it an actual objective score so that you know which areas to focus on, maybe why your business is growing or not growing. And it doesn't matter if you're doing $1 million per month or you've never seen $1 million in your life or you've never made $100. It doesn't matter. It's gonna plug in the real information for your brand and give you and spit out a true answer, a true objective number, and give you a point of where you should be focusing on. All right, so the clothing offer equation framework, very simple. I have some prompts that will help you here. So help me reduce my return rates, diagnose my brand using the COM framework. So you can click that one. It will start you off. And it's going to ask you some major questions. Now, you do need to fill this information out. The more thorough that you are, the easier it is to figure out what's going on with your brand. Now, this is specifically for apparel. If you're not apparel, you could probably use it, but honestly, everything is like very detailed for the apparel industry. So you've got to understand what it is that you're going after. Once I have that, right, it's going to give you the core 5 variables of the clothing offer equation. Style aspirations times quality and fit confidence, and then at the bottom, right, so the denominator here is waiting time plus shopping friction plus price sensitivity. All of this information is gathered through these questions, and then it'll calculate a score for you with what is kind of the issues. All right, so I want to reduce my return rate. Reducing the return rate is one of the most effective ways to increase profitability and improve your COE score. Your current return rate, we're going to need this information to know it. All right, so fix sizing and fit issues, improve product representation, boost perceived quality. Here's how you can do that. Use post-purchase interventions. Use this thing. Analyze return data ruthlessly. Here you can do this, and it gives you the examples of what you need to do. And then I always have it at the end of this. One of the biggest rules that it has is to give you the top 2 things to do. I know there's 5 things you could do, but I also know humans, and I know that people get busy or they have other things going on. So what's the one takeaway that you could do to increase the return rate? Here you go. If you want this offer equation, just comment the word clothing down below. We will send it over to you. You can implement it and start using it for your business. Okay, so as promised, this is your bonus. All right, so organic is about building trust, but now there is a way to build trust and nurture a relationship that maximizes your sales. It's called ManyChat, all right? So it's been around for a very long time. I found about them, I think in like 2018 when I was at Social Media Marketing World, and they're like, hey, there's Chat Fuel and ManyChat. I bet on Chat Fuel. They lost. I don't know what they're doing now. And now there's ManyChat. What is it? It is the ability to create automations from platform to platform. If you're familiar with Zapier that connects one tool to another, that's what ManyChat does, but it's direct, personalized communication. And if you've been watching us for a while, you know that at the beginning of this year, I said that marketing personalization was going to be huge. And it's still going to be huge, but you got to be able to do it on a deeper level, especially with like AI, etc. You've got to be able to stand out. So what can you use ManyChat for? All right, so this is an example of something that I would create as a what to do piece of content. All right, so you've got all of these people. In this example, I'm gonna go back to the boutique, to the rural community. Maybe they don't have access to an airplane for like a couple of hours, so they've gotta go on road trips, or when they are taking flights, they don't do it that often, okay? So average person from a small town, I can talk about them because I am from a small town in Kansas. Basically, I had to drive an hour and a half or so to the airport, and then haven't really flown on airplanes a ton compared to somebody who lives in a city on average. So anyway, if we know that's our audience, we could create a tool that says, hey, here are the 5 things that you need to do to travel safely and stylishly while you go to your beach vacation in Florida. And if you want that, just comment the word vacay. All right, so I had here and it says, hey, if they comment the word vacay on, for example, Instagram, right? So you create this content on Instagram or TikTok, and you say, hey, if you comment the word vacay, then this flow will start to set up. They commented the word vacay, here's the DM. Hey, saw you wanted the what to wear on your beach vacation guide. Good call. Yes, send me the guide. Boom, they said send me the guide. Great, what's the best email? So I collect their email address. Here's the best guide, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I have it built out to it where it also adds their SMS, where it also adds them to Klaviyo, or whatever platform you choose. We do suggest Klaviyo. And then it starts nurturing them an email series, okay? So I would think at this point like a 9 or 10 part email series that nurtures them throughout, okay? Email and SMS, I want both of those. But I got all of that from organic. Now imagine 50 or 100 people sign up every single week, and then you get 100 emails going out. Technically, you've got 900 emails going out because of all of the 900, or because of the 100 emails times the 9 emails that went out. So you got 900 emails to go out. Let's say 10% of those customers actually purchase. Okay, that was all free. So we got 10 people who purchased. Let's say your average order value is $60. That's $600 that you just got all from organic content through the what to do by knowing exactly who your audience was, and it actually makes you money. Then you can use that to spend more money on the ads. Okay, it becomes a very victorious cycle versus a vicious cycle. Costs you no money to do that. ManyChat is 100% free. There are, to do a lot of the automations that I'm mentioning here, I think it's like 10, 15 bucks a month. If you want the flow and you want a deal / discount for ManyChat, I think I can get you a free month for free. Don't hold me to that, but I think I can make that happen. I'll create the code. Comment the word ManyChat down below. That's MANY chat. Just comment that down below. I will send that over to you. Okay, so now you know the framework to scale your clothing brand. It's time to learn how to tell stories so that you can guarantee sales. So go watch this video on how to tell stories for your clothing brand right here next. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S. Make sure you subscribe.